my live stream every Monday evening at about 20 o'clock. Now it's a bit early. I will start with a live stream where I will answer questions and be available for requests and comments. Of course, my topics will be always the same. It goes from Ukraine, Iran, NATO enlargement, EU enlargement, the flat tax, Kosovo, and of course Albania, the Kurds, and the future of the Middle East, and also the future of the global system. This is basically the questions I will answer. And if you have other questions, I'm also available. Today I have my American flag here because I'm calling, of course, for American intervention against Iran, but obviously I'm also discussing the future of America. It's a deeply flawed system which significant reforms only can save in terms of its constitution, in terms of and the questions connecting the justice system, as I just have discussed. And I'm actually then having two podcasts today. And that was the first one about Romania, a very good one. Then I recorded one about Austrian history in Germany, in German language, which will be broadcasted then tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And then there will be a podcast now, a live podcast about the American justice system and the Epstein scandal. And so this is basically 3 podcasts a day. Keeps the doctor away. And of course, I'm intensifying now this live streaming, which is a new thing for me. I learned how to do it. I work now. I have done it on TikTok on the Iranian demonstration on Sunday. It was good. I liked it. And I do now Mondays with Gunther. That will be the name of the new show in the coming days and weeks. And that will be every Monday, 20 hours CET in European Vienna time. The voice of the free world here, available for everybody who wants to put questions in the live stream. And that's what I will do regularly now. And I will also answer questions if there are any, and I will be available. Maybe I will do half an hour on YouTube and half an hour on TikTok. This is a little bit the format I'm going to work in the coming weeks and months. And this is how I will push the podcast, the channels, and also the X account and all the other formats forward. And I hope to make a contribution also towards the victory of Ukraine, to the defense of Israel, to the freedom for the Iranians, to EU and NATO enlargement for Ukraine, Kosovo, Bosnia, and especially for Bosnia. It's now more urgent than ever. And of course, to reform the United States and the European Union, because simultaneously we also have to reform our institutions, as we see in the case of America with this big Epstein scandal. Yes, this is, I think, the short version. I have also the podcast online. You can see it on this channel, but also on Spotify, on Apple Podcast. And obviously, I'm also then on this X account, which I think is very useful. I tried now also to go live on my new computer, but that I really don't know up to now. So I'm still in the learning process of doing all these things. But I'm happy for all advice and support. And I see it's working now. I see we are basically now online. I just check here as well to see if the channel is responsive. And you can see, obviously, I'm here live. Very good, it's working. Absolutely, it's working. You will get some double feedback. Yes, I can see myself. Very good, it's working 100% well. I love it, yeah. And it's actually fantastic tools which we have now in all directions. And I really like it. And I'm very happy. If you have some questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I will do that Mondays, not every weekday. I will be reluctant to do that because I also like to go to events, have some family obligations as well, and try to participate as well in other panel discussions. And that's, of course, very good. That's my plan. Yeah, but it's working now, and I can answer questions if you have some. and I'm happy to contribute to the debate about global prosperity, security, and about what we need to do to win the war in Ukraine. I have done on Saturday a big intervention there in one of the seminars for the strategic interest. Next week I will go, this week on Friday, Saturday, I will go to Munich to participate one of the side events actually, but to raise my NATO flag and my American flag over there. And hopefully by then there is already military intervention, but as I have said, it's already a long time that we do. Yeah, there's a question what I think about Tony Blair. Tony Blair is in general a very good person, you know, I like him very much. And there are many children in Kosovo who are called Tony Blair because he is the liberator of Kosovo, and I like it very much. Yeah, he is also the one who has liberated Iraq, and both liberations were extremely good. Yeah, and we can be proud of him, and he has lasting place in the hearts of the Albanians and of the people of Iraq who deserve to be free as well. That the intervention was not well managed afterwards, that's another issue, but I wouldn't blame it on him, but more on the American management and the American belief in national unity. That's of course mistaken, but in the overall picture now, Iraq is working relatively well, and that's very good. Yeah, the EU should be one unified state. State, it will never be a nation state like France in a way. That's of course a different form. It will be like the United States of America, and like one nation, but with 50 states, and we will have also 50 states ultimately. I made already the calculation, and I'm for this enlarged European Union, Canada, Australia even to be part of it, the UK to return, Norway, this is my wish. And I have a nice Valentinstag. Thanks a lot. I see you wish me a nice Valentinstag. I will be in Munich actually. That will be my Valentinstag, but I will present her flowers before. The fire rises, yeah? Yes, exactly. That's me. I'm absolutely in that stream. I will do it regularly in the future, monthly, with the right team, the right setup. I really like it. It's absolutely nice entertainment. But my, of course, ideological and platform, which ultimately this is an ideological platform, is about freedom for the world and the breakup of our enemy states and Russia, first of all. Yes. No, ex-America. I love America. I have my flag here. I have many flags, obviously, for all campaigns, one flag, but I'm absolutely in favor of the United States of America to return to a moral renewal, which actually all these people around MAGA have promised. And their tool was a leader which is absolutely immoral, and Steve Bannon, his enabler, very much deeply involved into Epstein. So it's a real disgusting thing. But ex-America, no, America should stay united. It's perfect in many ways. As it is, of course, it should have Puerto Rico and Washington DC as the 51st and 52nd member state, and then obviously maybe more states from this de facto colonies of America in the island states are possible, and that's the way it is. But Canada shall join the European Union, and so it has much more to do with the European continent, and together then we build the West inside NATO, the OECD, a free trade agreement is absolutely, my favorite party in Great Britain was always the Conservative Party, the Tory Party. But at the moment I'm disgusted. They failed, and they have created all the mess in the last time with Brexit. And that is basically, they have stepped themselves, shot themselves into the knee. And now the Labour is the more pro-European party. And if Labour supports a rejoin, I will support Labour. This is very important because Nigel Farage is deeply implemented in this whole Trump side, and I'm absolutely against that. Yeah, the World Economic Forum, they never invite me, but I think it's not a nefarious organization as some seem to claim. I think it's good to have this kind of global jamborees and networking event that they're meeting the rich and the powerful. That's the idea of such forums. I'm involved in the forum Alpbach here, the Austrian version, and that's absolutely good. And the political situation in Italy, I think we can be quite happy to have some stability, but in general, problem of Italy is the lack of growth over 30 years. A great and beautiful country with great and nice people, but politically also this leader now, Meloni, is as promising as Berlusconi was, and as same as Berlusconi, there is not the re-elections, because what we need in Italy, of course, is the flat tax of 15%, and we need a privatization, liberalization, real reform of the labor market. And this seems to be very complicated in that country, which has so much opportunities, and there is a lack of the clarity in leadership. And I hope this will come now, but I have promoted this concept many times, and it was unfortunately not possible. So yes, Norway is, the socialists are totally discredited, yeah. And I have to say, I'm really ashamed with these socialist scandals that they have basically been the tools for Russia to undermine Europe. And this Jagland seems to be the Epstein enabler, living in infamy forever. And I think the socialists in Norway and their reluctant pro-Putinism, egocentric kind of disaster is finished. And similar, like we have seen Sweden and Finland joining NATO, it's now time for Norway to join the European Union. The same as well for Iceland, for Greenland, and for the United Kingdom. Yeah, you're not sure? You should be sure. This is the absolute best way. And by the way, you have a 2 trillion fund, and it would be very, very good if you also join the Eurozone immediately. And so we are not alone, because we are sending basically all this money to you. You're getting very rich. You don't do anything productive with it. And that's a big problem. Yeah, some friends from the Republic of Komi. Yeah, I'm absolutely in favor of ex-Russia. I will support ex-Russia. I do that all the time since the start of the invasion. I was for free federal Russia before, and since the start of the invasion in 2020, I'm absolutely in favor of the breakup of Russia, and it will be broken up. It will be 41 new states. This is also on the top of my X account. You can see that. And I've made many, many videos. If you go into ex-Russia, that's absolutely the case. Yeah. No, there is, yes, there's the Social Democrats, pro-European Ukrainians, Timoshenko, basically. She's painful, but she's courageous. I respect her personally. I met some people around her. I never met her personally, but in terms of economics, I'm totally opposed. And she has been a really obstacle for reform in Ukraine. And Ukraine needs also significant reforms during EU integration. And Zelensky seems to be the most reasonable driver of these reforms. And I hope they will be opening all markets towards the European Union, integrate into the euro. This is the most important. Norway will be a much more transparent country, a much more decent country, a much more loving and caring country inside the European Union. Yeah? What you have seen now is absolutely disgrace with these socialists who have been implemented in Epstein scandal, and you're kind of not staying in the European Union leads countries. I see that in terms of Austrian neutrality, in terms of staying out, you feel a little bit like you are superior. And the rest are the normal Europeans, and then there's Norway, which is so special. It's not good. It leads to wrong policy decisions. We are all united in one continent, in one historic community, in one political community, which is bound to be together. So it's much, much better to be united, and we can share our common tasks as well. Asking me how I am personally, I'm fine, thanks a lot. But ask me some concrete political questions. this is the way forward here for this format, as I understand it. Yes, I'm for full punishment, swift punishment, complete transparency. All people implicated in the Epstein scandal should be punished severely, swiftly, and very hard. On Nigeria, I'm for ex-Nigeria. Nigeria has been proven to be a hostile state, and it's one of the 7 hostile states, together with Syria, with Cuba, and of course with Iran, and with China, and with Russia, and Syria, North Korea. So that's very clear. And Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, I very much think that these countries need significantly breaking up, and the way this whole area was formed from Nigeria to the neighboring countries is deeply problematic, and it was chaotic decisions after the First and Second World War, similar to the Middle East, which led to these very confused borders, and it's not working. And I'm for assisted breakup also along European or international law, and that's the way I would like to have the settlement of this Niger Delta countries, if you want to call it like this, these countries along and north of Nigeria. Zur Einwanderung. I'm in favor of immigration, absolutely. Immigration is freedom. We need more freedom, and we need more people. Principally, my vision of the world is that everybody should live wherever he or she wants freely. Of course, we should not distort the market by providing big subsidies and social transfers for everybody to come to Vienna. That's, of course, ridiculous and bad. But what we need to do is to have this level of decency that if somebody is in need, we will help and we will give new opportunities. It doesn't mean that everybody has forever to live in Vienna or Austria or in Zurich or in Oslo. No, but we need mobility is freedom, and the right for free movement we have in the European Union everywhere. And it is, of course, connected with responsibilities. You need to behave in the framework of the law, and you need also to be productive in the framework of the economy. But in generally, migration is part of the freedom agenda, and it's absolutely okay. And diversity is also okay. I don't want to have Germanic countries or such BS. And this is wrong. So let's be open. Openness is the key to prosperity. Yeah. On Iran, I was heavily attacked by the pro-Shah movement, which are also my friends. I'm absolutely in favor of the return of the Shah if it's possible, and I'm very much in favor of Iran to be free federal Iran if it's possible. But if we continue with the Ayatollahs, and the Americans and the Israelis are so much under Putin's thumb that they don't attack and don't regime change the Ayatollahs, then we have to shift our gear into ex-Iraq and to support the freedom of the Kurds and the Turkmens and the Azeris and the Afghans and the Baluch. And these are the 5 nations around the Persians in the center. And this is a very diverse and big country, with half of the people being not Persian in that sense, and they always felt only under the thumb and the yoke of Tehran. And this is an explosive mix. We have to either coordinate free federal Iran by the call for change by the Shah, by the son of the Shah, or there will be ex-Iran. We will see the ultimate outcome. I wish, of course, a free federal Iran as the best possible option, but if it's not possible, and if the Ayatollahs and their suppressor regime are too powerful, then we have to work with all forces to liberate the whole of Iran. And once liberation is achieved as well, we have to see if there is enough cohesiveness in that state and to be held together. I absolutely against the unity of Syria and of Russia and all these countries. But in the case of Iran, let's see, that is still possible. Yes, there is, the Russian government should be fully replaced, and of course, I'm for ex-Russia. Russia is an imperial colonial power which must be dissolved, dismantled into many new states. That's the much better way forward. Ex-Russia, you can follow all my videos. I have hundreds of videos on this topic on my channel, and you can find them under ex-Russia. And you can see I've written extensively and worked extensively how to dismantle Russia. Soran Maidani, and yes, I'm for tolerance for all religions, and as long as religions are peaceful, they are very welcomed. If somebody preaches hate and violence against us, he's no longer welcome. I make it very clear I'm for migration, openness, welcome culture, yes, but if you not for our enemies, yeah. If you are Putinist, if you think Putin is great, if you think the Ayatollah is great, these are our enemies, you must go. So everybody with peaceful intention is welcome. Everybody with hostile intentions must be deported and must go. Yeah, Spain is a deeply troubled country beside its beauty. The socialists have mismanaged it, and that's very tragic. And of course, I'm for federal Spain against Catalonia and independence, and I'm for freedom of free federal Spain, and they should recognize Kosovo. Everybody is going to survive into the 2030s, just not Russia and just not Putin, and others, hopefully not the Ayatollah and his regime. So I'm very optimistic in terms of the free world order. It will be, we are also not fundamentally changing it. We will definitely develop it further. Yes, guys, with the Kurden in Syria, they should have the independent state of Rojava. I have supported that many times already, and I do support that again. Yes, I'm for ex-Syria. It's very clear. Guys, we leave it here. It was 20 minutes of this live stream here. I will change now also to follow on the TikTok, and that's also one level of activity which I'm doing. I want to thank you very much for following me on this channel, and also subscribe to our podcast, and that's very good. And also, if you want to support our independent media project here, which I start to develop together with my producer, please then work here on Buy Me a Coffee, on Patreon, subscribing here, and all the other things we can do together in the future. And you're very welcome. And please share as also this live and other things. Every Monday now, I will come back on this channel to talk and answer questions. And I'm very happy for that. Thanks a lot. All the best. Do you have? Think of Israel. Yes, Israel is wonderful. I have the Israeli flag here. I love Israel. It should join NATO and the EU and the Euro. That's what I want from Israel. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Invasion of the Balticum and Taiwan. Everything is possible, but we have NATO here. We will fight back. We will defend the Balticum. It will never be Russian again. Be sure about it. And Taiwan, we will also defend. Be sure about it. And we will defeat our enemies. If they attack us, we will be there with our friends, and we will be fighting the Russian and Chinese enemy. The fire rises. Thanks a lot. Bye.